The dragon conquers Aegon's rise to power. Aegon I Targaryen, the Conqueror, the first of his name. Born in the ancient land of Dragonstone, Aegon was destined for greatness from the very beginning. Few figures in Westerosi history inspire such awe and fear. His name alone could send shivers down the spines of both commoners and lords alike. He was a warrior without equal, wielding fire and blood to unite a fractured continent under his banner. His prowess in battle was unmatched, and his strategic mind was as sharp as any blade. With his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, at his side, he rode his mighty dragon, Balerion the Black Dread, to conquer 6 of the 7 kingdoms. Together, they formed a formidable trio, each bringing their unique strengths to the battlefield. His arrival on Westerosi shores marked a turning point. The sight of his dragons soaring through the skies struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. The old ways crumbled before the might of dragons. Castles that had stood for centuries fell, and the once proud lords of Westeros bent the knee to their new overlord. The sheer audacity of Aegon's conquest remains legendary. His campaign was not just a series of battles, but a carefully orchestrated plan to bring the entire continent under his rule. He was not content to rule a single kingdom. His ambition knew no bounds, and he sought to create a legacy that would endure for generations. He envisioned a united realm free from the endless squabbles and bloodshed that plagued Westeros for generations. Aegon saw the potential for a stronger, more prosperous land under a single unified rule. His vision was ambitious, but Aegon possessed the will and the firepower to make it a reality. His dragons were not just weapons of war, they were symbols of his divine right to rule. The Field of Fire, where he unleashed the full fury of his dragons against the combined forces of the Reach and the Rock, stands as a testament to his power. It was a decisive victory that solidified his dominance. Yet, Aegon's true genius lay not only in his military prowess. He understood the importance of governance and the need to win the hearts and minds of his subjects. It was his understanding that true conquest requires more than just brute force. He knew that to maintain his empire, he needed to establish a system of governance that would ensure stability and loyalty. It demands diplomacy, compromise, and a willingness to build bridges with former enemies. Aegon was a master of negotiation, often choosing to offer terms of peace rather than resorting to unnecessary bloodshed. This realization separated him from countless conquerors throughout history. While many relied solely on fear and oppression, Aegon sought to create a lasting legacy through unity and cooperation. He understood that a lasting peace required more than just submission. It required the integration of different cultures and the establishment of a common identity. It needed the acceptance, if not the love, of the conquered. Aegon's ability to inspire loyalty and respect among his subjects was a key factor in the enduring success of his reign. Forging a realm beyond the battlefield. While the conquest of Westeros secured Aegon's place in history, it was only the beginning of his legacy. It was his peacetime accomplishments that truly defined his reign and left an indelible mark on the realm. He recognized that uniting 7 disparate kingdoms, each with their own customs, laws and loyalties, would require more than just military might. Aegon knew that the real challenge lay in creating a cohesive and harmonious society. Aegon understood the need for reconciliation. He realized that to maintain his rule, he had to foster a sense of unity and cooperation among the newly conquered territories. He knew he couldn't simply rule through fear and force. Aegon was wise enough to see that a kingdom held together by fear alone would eventually crumble. He needed to earn the respect, if not the affection, of his new subjects. By showing fairness and understanding, he aimed to build a foundation of trust and loyalty. One of his first acts as king was the creation of the Iron Throne. This throne, forged from the melted swords of his enemies, was not just a seat of power, but a symbol of his authority and the unity he sought to achieve. Forged from the melted swords of his enemies, it served as a potent symbol of his victory. The Iron Throne was a constant reminder of the cost of war and the strength required to maintain peace. Yet it also represented the forging of a new order. Aegon wanted his subjects to see the throne as a beacon of stability and justice. The swords, once tools of division and war, were now united into a single entity. This act of transformation was a powerful message to the people of Westeros. This act illustrated Aegon's desire to move beyond the bloodshed and create a unified realm. He sought to turn the instruments of war into symbols of peace and unity. He established a new capital city, King's Landing, at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush. This city was to be the heart of his new kingdom, a place where all could come together. This strategic location, chosen for its central position and access to trade routes, further emphasized Aegon's commitment to unity. King's Landing was not just a political centre, but also a hub of commerce and culture. King's Landing would become the heart of the Seven Kingdoms, a melting pot of cultures and traditions where the people of Westeros could come together under one banner. It was a place where differences could be celebrated and common ground could be found. Aegon also established a council of advisors, drawing from the various regions of Westeros. This council was meant to ensure that all voices were heard and that the governance of the realm was inclusive. He implemented new laws that respected the traditions of the different kingdoms while promoting a unified legal system. This balance of old and new helped to ease tensions and foster a sense of belonging among his subjects. Education and knowledge were also important to Aegon. He encouraged the establishment of schools and the sharing of knowledge across the realm, believing that an informed populace was key to a strong and stable kingdom. Through festivals and public gatherings, Aegon promoted a sense of community and shared identity. These events allowed people from different backgrounds to come together and celebrate their common heritage. Monuments and statues were erected to commemorate the unity and peace that Aegon had worked so hard to achieve. These symbols served as a reminder of the new era that had begun under his rule. Under Aegon's leadership, King's Landing flourished. It became a vibrant city, a testament to the success of his vision for a united Westeros. The city stood as a beacon of hope and progress, embodying the ideals of unity and cooperation that Aegon had championed. One king, seven kingdoms, a tapestry of traditions. This is the story of Aegon the Conqueror, a ruler who understood the complexities of governing a land rich in diversity and history. Aegon, despite his Valyrian heritage, displayed a remarkable pragmatism in his approach to ruling his newly conquered kingdoms. He was not just a conqueror, but a visionary who saw the potential in unity through diversity. He understood that attempting to impose a singular, homogeneous culture upon such a diverse land would only breed resentment and rebellion. The people of Westeros were fiercely proud of their unique traditions and histories. Instead, he adopted a policy of tolerance and integration. He recognized that the strength of his new realm lay in its rich tapestry of traditions and cultures. He allowed the kingdoms to retain their own laws and customs, recognizing that these traditions form the bedrock of their identities. By doing so, he earned the respect and loyalty of his new subjects. He incorporated the existing structures of power into his new regime, allowing defeated kings and lords to keep their lands and titles in exchange for their allegiance. This was a strategic move that ensured stability and continuity. This pragmatic approach helped to smooth the transition of power and ensured a level of continuity within the kingdoms. It was a delicate balance of power and diplomacy. While some lords resisted, many saw the wisdom in bending the knee to a ruler who offered them a place in his new order. They understood that their cooperation would bring peace and prosperity to their lands. This approach extended to religion as well. Aegon knew that faith was a deeply personal and powerful force in the lives of his subjects. Although he personally kept the faith of his Valyrian ancestors, he made no effort to impose it on his subjects. He respected their right to worship as they chose. He allowed the faith of the Seven to continue unhindered, even going so far as to be anointed by the High Septon in Old Town. This act was a powerful symbol of his respect for the dominant faith of Westeros. This act of respect for the dominant faith of Westeros went a long way towards solidifying his rule. By honoring their beliefs, he won the hearts and minds of his people, ensuring a lasting legacy of unity and peace. Aegon's reign was marked by a unique blend of strength and compassion. He understood that true power lay not in domination, but in the ability to bring people together. His legacy is a testament to the power of tolerance and the beauty of a diverse and united kingdom. The story of Aegon the Conqueror is a reminder that even in times of conquest and change, respect for tradition and culture can pave the way for a harmonious and prosperous future. His tapestry of traditions continues to inspire generations. The king's justice, courtship and conciliation. Aegon understood that true unity extended beyond just the battlefield or the council chamber. It needed to be fostered through alliances and bonds of kinship. He, along with his queens, orchestrated a series of strategic marriages, weaving a complex web of relationships that bound the great houses of Westeros closer to the Iron Throne. His own marriage to both his sisters, though considered scandalous by Westerosi standards, was a calculated political move. It solidified the Targaryen lineage and prevented any disputes over succession. Visenya, known for her martial prowess and shrewd political mind, became a powerful force in her own right. Rhaenys, with her charm and charisma, excelled at building relationships and fostering goodwill. These marriages were only the beginning. Aegon encouraged his bannermen to marry into the families of former enemies, forging bonds of loyalty and kinship. He knew that these personal connections could prove just as strong, if not stronger, than any treaty. He understood that true peace required more than just the absence of war. It needed the presence of understanding, empathy, and shared purpose.